Hello and welcome everybody back to the dumbass class with me, the Dyslexic Gamer. As I've just realised you can't see much through my camera because of the sun outside, but I'll fix that later. As we come back to our tabletop RPG series of Warhammer Fantasy's 2nd edition, we are in the city of Nuln, as we have been for some time. In the last episode, we carried on with our evening in the Golden Hammer, a very fancy gentleman's club in the city of Nuln, the fanciest of clubs. And there, our group of warband members were invited in as guests. After getting ready with their noble Lord Humperdinck, they made their debut. And Humperdinck let some shocking ideas flow from his rather rotund lips and put the party in a little bit of an awkward situation before going into the ballroom where they would drink, eat and mingle with the nobles there. Now, there are a number of minor nobles who I'm not bringing up. They're just there in the background. The major nobles, the party have made introductions to. Most of them went well. However, they did very quickly learn that apart from a few nobles disliking Humperdinck and the captain of the guard, there was a bit of a divide in what people thought of Humperdinck and what people thought of the Marquis. After doing some poking around and paying the butlers within the Golden Hammer a handsome sum of gold, they got some more secrets about the higher nobles and found out a few more closer ties that may come up later on. Then Humperdinck, being Humperdinck, once the group had said their introductions and had gathered to pass off information, Humperdinck made a big show of revealing all the secrets of the Hardings. After revealing all the secrets of the Hardings, bringing humiliation and shock to Helen and William about how Helen enjoys being rogered by the Marquis and William enjoys watching his wife being rogered by the Marquis.
Did we really reveal them if everyone already knew?
No, Humperdinck did. And it was revealed openly. In high society, you may have a secret that is known about, whispered, but never said out aloud to everyone, like Humperdinck did.
An unspoken truth became a spoken truth, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
And that sounds like their own bloody fault.
Kind of is.
It is, yeah.
And after Humperdinck had insulted the Hardings just the right amount, that William puckered up his bumhole and got the courage to challenge Humperdinck to a duel. Unfortunately for William, it's the challenger. Yes, it's the challenger who gets to pick.
Challengee?
No, challengee is the challengee who gets to pick the weapons.
The challenged.
And then he immediately pussied out of the duel.
Yes, after realising that Humperdinck would of course choose black powder pistols, his preferred weapon of choice, he was, thankfully, maybe, he was saved by Sir Edward Bolton, the captain of the city's guard. Sir Bolton stood up for Lord William, and a duel has been set for the next day at noon. The group then followed their lord out into the garden area, where he partook in a rather fine cigar, and they discussed what had happened. Some of the members of the warband are more than too happy to jump to the challenge of dueling Sir Edward, because he's a bit of a racist bastard, to be quite honest.
I mean, we had to
Isn't this
explain to
speciesist,
Irelia
technically?
that killing him outside of the duel is murder.
Now you had to explain to me.
No, you had to explain to Ragnar.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Irelia
I
that
knew
asked
you-
that question.
No, it was
Nope.
definitely Ragnar. Because Ragnar's sad because he's not good with guns, so he won't get to kill him.
It was Ragnar.
Oh, never mind
Yeah.
then.
I know you're a human, but you're far too young to have a faulty memory.
Mate, my memory has always been faulty.
God damn it, Carla.
Ah, this is why I can't multitask. Anyway, so it's just easier if I just say hello to chat. And hello, Wolski? Yeah. Can't read
What
names.
else?
Shit, I
Can't
just
read-
realized
can't
I
read
have
names
more
either, so,
spells I
yeah.
could buy than just the specific ones to me.
So, after the group had to explain some laws to some members of the more stout of our races in fantasy, the camera did indeed zoom out, and you saw a glimpse of someone. I believe an hour had passed when that happened, so it is now. Hang on, it was 2, 3. So now it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Quite a lot has happened. As the ballroom doors open. I haven't actually got his full name written on there because I'm a moron. As the grand doors to the ballroom open, one of the servants who announces the lords who enter steps forwards. My lords, ladies and gentlemen and honourable guests, may I please proudly pronounce the Marquis della Lossa Mentori Alamesse has arrived. As the doors swing open and the man himself is announced, you see Humperdinck's face go quite pale, and his cigar drops from his mouth ever so slightly as you peer through the crowd, who are all now turning to see the Marquis enter. You would see...
Kind of a weird question.
Sure.
Could I roll to see if he's somehow chaos culty involved?
I don't.
Since I
Look,
did
he's
read
an asshole.
the
He's not stupid.
So, for
on
one,
recognizing cultist behavior.
for one,
That's my argument.
Blackhand, you could indeed roll that, but first you'd actually need to meet the man and learn, because technically you've heard of him. He's just got here. You would actually need to spend some time and watch him before you could, give that a roll.
All right. That's fair. That's fair.
So as he steps in, like Humperdinck, he has what can only be described as a pimp cane. It has a large, fist-sized ruby in the top. It is white. For the elves, maybe they would recognise that it's actually bone, not wood. It is tipped with a gold stud, so as he walks with it, it clinks on the tiles on the marble floor, just a little bit higher pitch than what you would expect. He has I went through this so many times that I still can't remember clothing. So he basically has a white tux on, except from the tux itself, the tuxedo, actually has gold and silver wire intricate patterns stitched throughout it, which as he moves gives it just this stunning sheen and twinkle of gold and silver as he walks. He's wearing purple, very, very dark purple. Shit, what would it be called? They're like riding boots, but then they heeled boots. That's the one.
Hobnail?
No, not hobnail. It's a heeled boot, which in this day and age is quite rare, quite swanky. They are dark purple. It appears to be some sort of velvet in material. The white suit the white tux is topped off with a same colour purple as his boots bow tie. We move further up. He's quite a slim man. He holds himself well, almost with a military stance, puffing out his chest and broadening his shoulders, and his arms sway with a very fluid, elegant motion, but again, it's kind of unnatural. You don't see humans walking, or dwarves or elves walking about moving their arms like this. On each of his rings, on each of his fingers and his thumb, he has a ring on both hands. Each one has a very large jewel in in the ring itself. He has a large golden medallion that has his own crest upon it. And then we move up to his face. You could say he has a handsome face, but unfortunately he has painted it half white and half purple. He has added a red Joker's mouth with puffy red lips.
Yeah, this motherfucker definitely culty.
His eyes are mascaraed and highlighted to make his eyes stand out more. His hair is completely white, and he has a is it a periwinkle hat? No, it's a bowler hat. He has a bowler hat, which again appears to be in the very dark purple. As he enters, he takes, firstly, he would take note of the Hardings who are stood near the dance floor. He would take note of how they're in shock and how they're in, something's obviously happened. She's red, he's red, she's white. No, who would be red? She's embarrassed, so they'd both be red, actually, because they're both embarrassed and angry. And he would see Edward still counselling them. That's why I've put both name lists on top of each other. That's why I can't see them. And as he enters, he addresses the crowd. Ah, my beloved nobles and gentlemen and honoured guests, it is so wonderful to see you all again. I only wish I could spend far more time getting to know all of you more intimately. A large smile, and as he does smile, you'd notice that he has a number of gold teeth. He's addressing the minor nobles more than the higher nobles. But I must go and see to my friends. They appear to be so upset, and I must find out why. As he walks, there's this high-pitched ding, ding, ding of his cane. As he consults, as he talks with the Hardings and Edward, You can all see him. You have a really good view of him. And a number of minor nobles have kind of followed him over, feigning just, "Oh, Marquis, you would not believe what is... Oh, yes, you must hear this, Marquis, from them. Anything you require."
We can see him clearly.
Yes, you can see him clearly.
I'll roll magical sense.
Sure.
I wish to too. Magical sense.
I would, but Livia's magical sense. Holy shit!
Jesus Christ, that's
It's
a
literally
large
what I built
number.
her for.
Get it now.
That's a lot.
That's good.
Okay, so let's have a look-see, shall we? So, let's do Carla first. Carla, with 2 degrees, as you look over at the Marquis, you close your eyes and think of your god, and think of his divine powers, and as you open your eyes again, everything mundane.
Think of more
seems-
giving him the business end of the scythe.
Everything that's mundane seems to be kind of blurry and out of focus, and everything that has a magical sense lights up more and is more noticeable. However, you're still not entirely used to this power. You can tell that the Marquis has a number of glowing items on his person. In fact, it almost seems as if he's glowing himself as you look at him. You can't quite determine what is and what isn't magical.
I'm just going to lean over to Aurelia. He's packing magic.
Olivia, as you close off your mind to the mundane and look into the winds of magic, you get a far, far sharper picture of the Marquis's equipment. With 8 degrees? Yes, with 8 degrees of success. You can tell that each one of his rings on his fingers and thumbs is a magical item. The rapier that he has at his side, which is master crafted, is also magical. His boots are magical. His entire ensemble seems to be enchanted one way or another, but you can see each item has some sort of protective charm or powerful magical aura surrounding it, particularly his rings and the medallion that hangs around his neck. The medallion is giving off the strongest signal, energy signal, and the rings would be next.
Is there anything I can tell about him?
His skin is mundane. When you actually focus on him, it's almost, his face is almost like with Carla, like fuzzy, not quite in focus.
Okay. Yeah, I'll lean over to the group and tell them about the magical item, especially the medallion and the rings.
Well, hardly surprised me that one so vile could have got that way without magic. No, the bad kind of magic.
But I didn't see any taint on him. Like, nothing that would give it away. Colty.
Could he just
No, you don't see anything ominous about the aura of him. He doesn't appear to have anything attached to him. There's no taint or anything that you can tell.
Alright, that's good enough.
Rather will whisper to the group. You should keep an eye on him the entire time.
Oh, I think they
I don't like the look of him already.
Do you think he's just as racist as his entourage?
Most definitely, yes.
Most likely.
Maybe I should steer clear of him. Feel like a punch to the
No,
captain.
screw it.
Perception tests, everyone.
Oh no.
Minus... minus 20. Well, actually, you are all looking at him, so minus 10.
Perception.
We're inside, and inside we don't take the negative for being enough, right?
You're in the garden. You can walk inside and then not take the negative.
Oh, Jesus Christ. This is gonna be painful.
You can just walk inside and be away from the soot of the stacks.
Son of a bitch.
Back to my normal rolling, I guess.
It's okay, Ragnar's got your
Me
back.
too.
So as the Marquis is talking to the Hardings and Sir Edward, some of the group lose interest in the Marquis. Once they've been told what he's packing, they kind of turn to themselves and start discussing. However, so Ragnar and Blackhand, as you look over and glimpse around, and you can tell that there's a number. Well, actually, you would be able to tell a number of things. So, for one, the Hollands, Lady Ruth, the woman with the annoying voice, and Lord Thomas, the very small man. They have sequestered themselves even further away from what's happening, but they've moved around so that they've got a better view, if that makes sense.
They basically went to the corners.
But
Yeah,
keeping a closer eye on him.
yeah. Well, from last week, as a reminder, Lord Thomas enjoys watching drama. He doesn't like being in it; he just likes watching it. And Ruth has an annoying voice and likes the Marquis.
Friend.
Yes, your banker friend.
I'm going to invest in gambling with him now.
Oh dear.
This is going to turn into a business startup.
The Hamptons
Oh my god.
are currently
Warhammer
looking.
Fantasy, the business startup simulator.
It's in the rule book.
Business
I can do it.
tycoon.
A little bit expensive.
Yes!
Yeah.
Time to become a business tycoon.
So the Hamptons, who are Lady Frances and Lord George. This is the older lady who's in a black and silver dress with a veil on, whose daughter was raped, and you also found out that Lord George lost a lot of money. Not entirely sure what I told you about that, so we'll just leave it at that. They are looking at the Marquis with scorn and hatred. For the Woodards, they were the young couple dancing around Lady Elizabeth and Lord Robert. They've stopped dancing once the Marquis came in, and they're now almost doing a little slow dance in the corner. Not actually dancing to the music, which I forgot to put on, but just dancing to their own little tune, trying to steer well clear of the Marquis. And then the Hardings, you've already seen. But you would notice that they are pointing out your group. And the Marquis looks over and studies your group. However, Livia, whilst you notice a few things about the nobles, not as much as what the dwarves have picked up on, you look at the Marquis and you see him staring at you. It's almost as if he is trying to hypnotize you as he stares longingly into your eyes and smiles so sweetly.
Oh joy.
Mm.
You'd also note that he also looks at Aurelia as well, and licks his lips.
Of course he does. Oh,
I think he has a thing for elves.
I think
He
he's got a
does.
death mark.
Yeah.
No, he has
Ragnar really
wants
wants to go do. Ragnar really wants to go do something stupid, but knows it would be incredibly stupid.
Come on, at least make his at least let's build our case before we murder him.
Yeah, no. That's not what Ragnar wants. Ragnar wants to call him out right now. That would be a bad
For what,
idea.
Don't.
for being a bull?
For everything.
I don't think that's a great idea. Right now, nah. We need to build our case.
Lord Humperdinck leans over. I believe that would be a very, very piss poor idea, Ragnar. Best to keep that stuff under your hat for now.
But what if he threw his halberd at him?
I'm hot-headed, Lord, not stupid.
I would imagine the Marquis has something for that, Caspar. It's at this point that you would
Yes, one
notice.
halberd. But what if we were to throw 6?
What about a flying dwarven headbutt?
It would be at this moment when those, especially Ragnar and Blackhand, would be when you would notice that the Marquis has a few attendants with him. In fact, Caspar and Aurelia would recognise one of them, although he's in much finer garb. Now, in fact, you'd notice 2 of them.
Oh yeah, I remember those guys. The ones we chased.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, I think one was a bald one and the other one had blonde hair. I followed the one
One
with
was bald,
blonde
one
hair.
was blonde. I followed the blonde, you followed the bald.
Yep, that's correct.
I think it was the other way around.
I have
thought
their
that
names.
the ones...
No, I have their names.
Yeah. You do?
Yeah.
I
The
don't.
bald man is Baldric.
Yep.
And Jonas is the blonde-haired man. He
Yep.
was one of the
Ah.
3 main boys for the or not main boys, but one of the 3 gatherers. Jonas is a fixer. Baldric is more like snot and grabbed people, basically.
So he's an enforcer then.
Probably a forced kidnapper. All I know is, from what Snot said, he's worse than he ever was. So, if you really want to kill someone to make up for not killing Snot, kill him.
You know, I think I would want to kill them all. It
I mean, that works too,
to.
but still.
It
He'd probably kidnap
rather
most
looks to her left shoulder and says, "Yeah, I got an arrow on my shoulder because of the blonde-haired one. Remember?"
the bald one.
One of the 2. Rel was about to say you humans look all the same, but she holds her tongue.
See, okay, no, I would accept that, but one has literally no hair, the other has blonde hair.
I mean, blonde hair
She's
looks
like,
kind of like.
held her tongue.
Ugh.
But
I'll
yeah,
finish
she's
the
like,
blonde
yeah. I do remember him running in an ambush for me in the shiny town. I don't know if he recognizes me though.
Mm-hmm.
Think
Oh.
we'll find out soon.
Yes, do you think the Marquis will grace us with his attention, other than this creepy look he's giving us now?
Don't think he's giving that look to us. I think he's giving it to them. And
We were told a while ago, I think he has a thing for elves.
yeah.
Mhm.
He does. It's disgusting, but we already know this.
Yes, he likes the pointy ears. He does.
He likes ripping them off.
Nibbling to start with, but moves on to
It
ripping.
would be incredibly funny if one of us was a dark elf.
Oh,
We'd
that would
outspeed
be
that guy
poetic
so
art.
fucking hard.
That would be a poetic irony.
I kink the marquee, sending a dark elf.
So about 15 minutes goes by as you're kind of looking over at him. He's looked over at you. You're discussing how odd he is and what you'd do to him. He leaves the Hardings and he makes his way over to the no, not the Hamptons, the Woodards.
Humperdinks.
No, he makes his way over to the Woodards. He basically walks straight onto the dance floor and walks up to the couple who are having a slow dance in the corner, trying not to get in the way, and he walks up to them and taps his cane on the floor to get their attention right next to them. And it's quite a loud noise considering the size of the ballroom and the marble floors and the fact that he's doing it loudly, that all of you would notice it. And you see them stop dancing, and Elizabeth actually cowers a little bit behind Robert. Not, shriveling in fear, but she gets behind him and she only really lets like 1/3 of her body be seen by the Marquis, if that kind of makes sense. And Robert and the Marquis seem to be discussing something.
I'd like to go over to stand next to the Hamptons and just introduce myself and make gentle conversation and basically essentially get across that I'm just going to stand here in case he tries to come over to talk to you because I can see you're looking uncomfortable, kind of thing.
Okay, so you're flittering in the area of the Hamptons.
Yeah.
I'm gonna accompany him to make sure he doesn't jug or anything. I think
Sure.
that's a word.
Do you not trust your dwarf?
No.
You would see that Malius is now kind of half in, half out of the garden and ballroom area. He's still smoking, he's still flittering about that, but he has got closer to the door.
I just look at Casper and say, if he makes his way over to them, you can take him. I'm gonna make more specific conversation with them. They don't deserve to have to put up with him any more than they already have.
Of course. Not a bad idea.
I mean, with you joining me, less likely I'm gonna punch him as well. So there's that.
That just means I gotta punch him. So
I like you, Casper. You're not like most humans.
well, most humans aren't as pale as I am.
It rather perks up from behind. That's because he's not human.
Hey, that is offensive. I am still
Mostly.
mostly.
Technically.
Technically. Thank you.
I should really roll for all the minor nobles who are in this room just wandering about, just like, did they say he wasn't human?
Don't worry, I can
He's
collaborate.
the secret. He's the prostitute we got at Nagaroth.
This isn't dark heresy, it's fine.
This is how you get the Marquis. You give him a prostitute from Nagaroth and let her do the work.
So about 15 minutes pass as the Marquis is having a conversation with the Woodards. Before you see Robert get quite aggressive or standoffish. He's broadened his shoulders now, raised himself up to his full height, and is visibly, you can see him getting, like, his demeanour has changed. And now he's just staring down the Marquis. And Robert is a large man. like a tall, well-built. He does have a military-esque look to him, as if he looks after his body. He's not this. Well, he's no Humperdinck. Let's put it that way. And the Marquis just stares up at him, smiling this wicked smile. And you'd see Elizabeth actually turn round, just to not to look at the Marquis. Before he bows and walks off, leaving the couple to their fun.
I so wish I already had lip reading, but I don't.
Maybe one of the elves should go talk to them to see what just happened.
I did spoke with them before. I might try and inquire.
By all means, Callum. Go ahead, you already know them.
I'm gonna tag along.
I'm gonna make my way to the Woodards. There's too many names in this. The couple the Marquis just finished talking with.
Woodards. Lady Elizabeth and Lord Robert. As you make your way over to them, Robert is now holding Elizabeth, and they're not really dancing, but it seems as if he's trying to cheer her up, and she's trying to calm him down. If that, they're both trying to do something good for each other, which is just sickly and disgusting. Ugh.
I'm gonna keep my voice low, just to minimize the chance that someone overhears. Most unpleasant individual, is he not?
Oh yes, he's just a wicked man, a wicked, sinful, evil man. Is he not, Robert? Yes, he is, my darling, but just put that wretch out of your mind. He will get what he deserves, and we will not back down. No, we will not. Not to a man like him.
As he says that he'll get what he deserves, I'm just gonna mutter, not necessarily that he doesn't hear, I'm just gonna mutter, he will if we have anything to say about it.
No, that was low enough that I didn't actually hear.
Not if we have anything to say about it, I think was essentially what she said.
Yeah.
I think Robert hears you, but gives you a look, but doesn't add on to it. He just takes his wife, and there's just... I don't know how the Duchess puts up with him. He is not that... Sorry, Countess? Is it Duchess? No, Countess.
Countess, yeah.
He's not that intriguing of an individual. He's just disgusting and a bully, in my mind. But, as I said, my darling, we won't back down to him. No, we mustn't. We mustn't. Someone here must put their foot down to him.
Back down to what? Did he make any demands?
Oh, it is nothing really. We each of us are bidding for similar items in the auction, and he wishes to acquire certain items that I know that I could make a tidy profit on if I acquired them. And I don't see why they should sit in his personal collection when they could be used for elsewhere.
I suppose men like him are used to getting what they want. Someone should teach him a lesson, certainly.
Yes, sadly, not enough people of power in this city are willing to stand up to him, but we will, won't we, darling? Oh, yes, my darling, we will.
Well, I hope now that his attention is directed elsewhere. Your evening will improve. I'm sorry, my lords, my lady. I have something to matters to attend to with my warband.
Yes, by all means, Carla. Yeah, lovely to talk to you. I'm sure we will see you at the dinner later on, or for drinks later. Well, I'm not sure how they'll do it. Normally the ladies and the men get separated after dinner, but you are all special guests, so maybe I will see you in the smoking room after. And yes, maybe I will see you in the drawing room later, or at dinner.
But of course. And I excuse myself from the conversation.
Livia gives a courteous bow. She didn't say anything. She was going to inquire about the boots, but chose not to.
I'm gonna just talk to Livia. So, what you reckon? Is the good Marquis trying to buy out the auction?
Well, Humperdinck did say he wanted.
True.
I'd rather have the boots for me, Aurelia. They are a relic that should be
Indeed.
returned to our people.
Well, I'm sure you could persuade Humperdinck to make bid for them. Or perhaps one of the buyers will be more amicable to any dealings and trades. But I'm sure that if the Marquis were to get them, it would be as good as gone.
We
However-
should try and get the couple on our side.
No, I think it
Maybe
wouldn't take
Humperdinck
much.
can.
I don't think it would take much persuading, truth be told.
Maybe Humperdinck can negotiate something
Oh,
about the items.
I'm sure he could.
And I'm sure he'd, love to piss on the Marquis parade. So,
Honestly, I don't think you need much arguments beyond that.
we'll see. So, are we returning to the warbands?
I believe so.
Maybe let's not make a whole gaggle waiting near the people.
I believe
gaggle of idiots.
I believe Black Hand is still outside with, or still near Humperdinck.
Yeah, I think it was just Carla and Livia who went over to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you know now. Things have changed on the dance floor, but it's taking me a moment to go through and figure out who is pissed and who is not.
Everyone and no one.
No,
I mean,
they're
Who
all,
will
we're
die
pissed at the Marquis,
first?
that's for sure.
they're all drinking at different rates and different thingies, which I probably shouldn't have done. I probably should have just gone with all the same, but I didn't.
Okay.
Complexity.
If you really just want to do it, just every time you go to them, just roll consume alcohol.
Yeah.
Alright, now he's pissed.
That's the thing. Like, if you snack on someone that's drunk, do you get drunk?
Want me to try?
Yes.
This is an out character deliberation, but I'm sure at some point someone will think of it in character.
Out of character, the alcohol would be in the cell, so yes, you could get drunk. It's like fruit and alcohol.
I'll be. We're talking about a magical curse. I don't know how real biology and chemistry relates to that.
A minor
Oh,
noble
I hate
walks past with a horrified look on her face.
Yeah. Thank God it is out of the character.
I'll say a single thing.
Do it.
Do it now.
I mean, we still got to try this, my spell. See if that feeds you.
True.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's try that one at some point. Also, I should move this a little bit closer.
I just realized there's a spell called Greater Chain. The target's voice can be heard clearly up to 500 yards away, but is not deafening to those that stand close. I need to spend some more XP on spells.
Okay, so at the turn of the hour, you would watch, and for those of you who are stood near the Hamptons, the Marquis doesn't actually go over to them. I'll give it to you that you would see him walk into the area in between the dance floor and the dining floor. And he looks over at them, raises his cane, and gives a little bow. Lady Harding, no. Lady Frances Hampton, she begins to cry and just turns away. She doesn't appear that drunk. Lord George is quite pissed at the moment. And he looks at the Marquis with just utter rage. Like, you can see his eyes almost bulging as his wife starts to sob behind him. And he actually goes to put his hand on the scabbard of his blade. But he just stands there and stares at the Marquis. Elizabeth and Robert, they are not drunk. They've had a few drinks here and there, but they're just in the corner, kind of dancing, trying to cheer up. Lady Helen Harding Hull is smashed. She rolled a natural 100, so she's pumped a few drinks down since Humperdinck's insults, but her husband has stayed off the liquor, and so has Sir Edward.
She pumped a few down and looking to get pumped. That's why the Marquis here.
Yeah.
She looks very ashamed when she doesn't really look at the Marquis because everyone looks at her and is waiting to see her look. But she doesn't. She just drinks another cocktail, another cocktail, another cocktail. And now she's smashed.
No, I just realized if I was a priestess of Verena, we could have done this very quickly with my spells.
Should have chosen a better god, man.
So,
Lord,
it is
good
4
God.
o'clock now. Yes, it is 4 o'clock now. As butlers come in and look at the announcer, and he turns, "My lords, ladies, gentlemen, and most honoured guests, dinner is served." And he bows down, and you see all the nobles stand up, and they all begin leaving the ballroom of the Golden Hammer and begin walking somewhere else. Humperdinck gathers you all as he's walking through. As you walk through the ballroom, he kind of brings you all over because he knows where he's going. And you all make your way through some very elegant hallways with with paintings of some of the greatest heroes of Nuln, some of the battles that the armies of Nuln have fought in. And of course, above the door to the grand dining room is a magnificent portrait of the Electus Count, the Electus Countess. Yeah. As you make your way in, this is a grand dining hall with crystal chandeliers, brightly lit, and tables dotted from place to place. As you all file in, you see that there are places for the lesser nobles where they all sit. Their tables are not as amazing as the ones that you and the High Lords and Humperdinck go towards. Just a way of differentiating the different classes within the higher classes. Tableware. That's how it's done. Tableware. You take your seats, and you would see that you're all at the same table. And each group seems to be at the same table, unless specifically noted. You would see that the Hollands are sat on their own, the Hamptons are sat on their own, the Woodards are sat on their own, and nobody gets a prize for guessing that the Hardings and Sir Edward Bolton are both, all three of them sat with the Marquis at a separate table. So, there's
Of course.
an hour of feasting, an hour and a half of feasting, where drinks are brought out and fine multi-service courses are brought out as delicate treats, and absolutely delectable, rare cuisine is brought forth to your table. Ragnar, you get about halfway through before you realise you are going to need to leave to do your rune crafting. So you excuse yourself from your lord, and he tells you that by all means come back once you've done as much work as you need to do. As you get up and excuse yourself, you walk out to the grand dining hall, and as you make your way out, please know you'd notice him. You see Baldric walking off with a waiter.
Can I try to follow them?
Sure.
Because it doesn't actually reset, it just means I need to do an extra day later on if I miss a day. So, yeah, can I try and follow them, see where they go? That seems interesting to me.
Sure. I didn't realise that you just have to do a day extra. I genuinely thought if you miss a day, it fucked everything up, so that's why I was like, yeah, now you need to leave.
Yeah, it's just so long as I don't miss a month in a row, it's fine.
Okay.
Or whatever the extended test is for the short, the temporary runes.
Then I do apologise for calling you out, but meh.
No,
it's
it's worked
happened now.
because Ragnar probably would have tried to do it anyway. But intrigue.
So, can you give me a... Actually, what test would work? Because there are probably a number of ones that you could do. Because there are a number, obviously, as they're serving decent, there's 100 people, maybe between 70 and 100 people that they're serving. So there's a lot of waiting staff going in and out. Could you give me... Ooh, shadowing. That would be the one.
I don't have shadowing. It's a advanced skill.
Then it would be an agility test with a -20. Now I can't remember if you rolled the agility thing, if it comes out flat.
There is no silent move. It's only.
I could do silent move.
Yeah, you're not trying to silently move. You're trying because where there's so many people coming and going. Like you don't have to do a test, but where there's so many people coming and going, the silent part of it isn't really. It's just so that if they see you, you're able to react quickly enough to no, I'm making my way out. I'm not, or where are the toilets? Where are the?
Could I attempt to gossip to do that then? It's like if I notice them start to turn around, I just start talking to some random nobody.
You could. It wouldn't be. It's more noticeable if you. So you don't have to do a roll. You can attempt a gossip test if they notice you. But Obviously, if you were to do a shadowing test, then they've got negatives to seeing you, to noticing that you're following them. So,
I mean,
that's
if you
fine.
want me to do agility minus 20, I can just hit silent move because that gives the same target anyway. So it's...
No. That's fine because you want to do your gossip, attempt your gossip thing. So that's perfectly fine. You can attempt that. So as you try to follow them, being as discreet as possible, walking along the corridors, you see that Baldric pulls the waiter off the main hallway that led you here and down a side corridor. As you walk up to the side to the corridor that Baldric walked down. I just got 74 twice. They don't notice you.
Oh dear.
You see them walk. You see Baldric steer this waiter into a adjoining room. He just opens the door, walks in, and closes the door.
Can I stand the other side of the door and try and see if I can overhear?
Sure. So give me a perception with a minus 20. So the waiter in question, just so that you're all aware, he has a beauty mark on his right cheek. That's the only thing that's noticeable about him. But Sir Ragnar of the Hammer, you overhear, I believe he's Scottish. I think he's Scottish. That's the name I seem to remember giving him, and I wrote it down, and now I can't find where I bloody wrote it.
He's imitating the dwarves. This is racist.
He is, but sadly he's human. So I couldn't have a dwarf doing shit like this. So you would hear from within the room. Aye, so listen here. You're gonna take this bag of shiny. You're gonna do exactly what I say. Because if you don't, I'll take everyone that you love. And I'll make you watch as I sodomize them. Just for starters. You hear a man kind of just whimpering. I don't... What do you... I want you to take this and pour it into the drink of... You don't hear the name. It's almost as if he whispers it into the waiter's ear. You're going to pour that into his drink. And then you're going to spin the cups. And see which one gets which. I can't do that. I would be executed. You'll die worse if you don't, laddie. You just hear this. Listen up. Listen. Execution will be nothing if you don't do what I say. I don't... Look now, look. Just put this in your mouth and inhale deeply. It'll give you a bit of courage. And maybe some balls. Now you've got more than enough shiny there to last you a good long while. You just hear this... And now you've got a bit of courage running through you. You do exactly what I say, then you can get out of here and leave. Or terrible things will happen to everyone that you know and love. And you'll watch it all. We got a deal. I guess so. I can't say no, can I? No, you can't. Good lad. Ragnar, you see the door handle twist, and the door begin to open.
I'm just gonna start walking away as if I'd walked past it.
The door, as you begin to walk off, the door stops opening for a moment, and but before you run, you can get me a drink afterwards, so it doesn't look too dodgy. Don't piss your pants. The door swings open, and the bald-headed man, Baldric, leaves.
Can I go... Once he's left, can I turn around and go...
Well,
into
you're
the...
in front of him.
Oh, I'm in front of him. Okay, I thought... Sorry. Yeah, I'll go to the end of the corridor and kind of do that thing where I'm trying to... Like, do I go left or do I go right? Until he kind of catches up with me. Just kind of stalling. And then I'll ask him, do you know which way it is back to the main toilet area? One of the servants sent me here and I don't know where I'm going. My first time, I'm sorry.
No, I don't think he's ever seen you. No, I don't think he has ever seen you. I think it's over there and to the left, and he points up the corridor. Down the corridor, and you can see that on the left there's a door, and it's quite close to the dining hall. You would see that he turns round and begins walking down that way as well.
Okay. I just call after and say, oh, thank you. And as he walks away, probably not really caring, I'm gonna go back down the corridor we came out of and try to find that servant. Because I'm assuming he didn't come back past us.
No.
Yeah. So basically, I'm pulling a 180 and going to check that room, and if he's not in there, go down the corridor, see where that leads.
Sure.
But he's going to be doing that not quite run, not quite walk thing to be quite quick, and if he can't spot him quickly, he's going to get back to the hall and tell Casper, because he needs someone who might be able to stop people drinking.
So the door is currently so from as best you heard, you didn't hear the door shut, whereas now the door is shut.
Okay. Can I try and open it?
Sure. You open the door, and it seems like this is a side parlour. It's a fairly small room. There's a bookshelf and a couple of seats dotted around, a fireplace and a few chairs. But there is another door on the other side, and that is open.
I just swear in Dwarvish and rush through that door, see where that leads.
Okay, so you go through that door, and this is pushing you further back towards the ballroom. As you come out, you see that this is the corridor that led you down to the ballroom, and you quickly kind of shuffle your way along and make your way down that corridor, and you see that there's a very unassuming door. You didn't really notice it before, but as you see it, you see that the door slowly closes shut. So you waddle your way over there, moving as quickly as your little dwarven legs will move you. And you get to the door.
Which is quick for most people.
It is, actually.
You've seen dwarf, okay? Calm down.
You push on the door, and the door swings open. As the door swings open, you can see that there's a number of butlers and servants and just general staff moving around, getting drinks, getting this, that, and the other, and pouring this and carving that.
If I can't see him right away. I'll pull the closest one towards me and say, "I'm looking for one of you with a beauty mark." And I'll just kind of describe him as best I was able to. Do you know where he is? Did he come through here?
Oh, Kevin? Yeah, Kevin, well, he just collected some drinks. And is...
Where's he going? Who for?
I don't know who for. But he just collected some drinks and took them through, and he points over and you can see that there's another door. So you quickly thank him and go through that door. And as you go through that door, you can see this is more... It's almost like an industrial bar. There's a bar and there's a number of barmen doing different drinks and different cocktails, and there's different waiters waiting on different drinks and different wines and so on and so forth.
Again, I'll do the same thing of quickly scan and then pull someone aside and go, Kevin, is Kevin here? Where did he go? He came through here. It's got a beauty mark and...
Give me a gossip test. -10.
Oh no.
As all these, you're not meant to be back here, and all these waiters have all got drinks and got places to go, and you're just kind of shouting out, Kevin, have you seen Kevin? Mark on his face. And they're just quickly bustling out. One of the barmen looks over to you and goes, "Oh, Kevin. Yeah, he just went out the door there to the banqueting hall. Had drinks for who do you have drinks for?" Another barman kind of, I think, wasn't it just 2 wines? I mean, no, it was a wine and sparkling water.
Quickly, someone's life is in danger.
What do you mean, someone's life?
Someone
Really?
paid it. Yeah, quickly. Who was it for?
Oh, let me. It was a wine and a brandy, wasn't it? Yeah,
Okay, that's enough. And I'm just gonna sprint out the door, trying to hunt down someone with a wine and a brandy.
Sure. So as you shoot through the door, you follow the corridor, and you can see that there are a number of waiters walking into the banqueting hall.
I'm going to sprint after them and shout, "Stop!"
Okay, so as you sprint after them, the door opens. You shout out, "Stop!" Give me a perception test, please. With
Any negatives?
I'll give you a +10.
Ooh.
As you stare down the corridor, the door opens. You shout out, "Stop!" 2 waiters turn round. One with 2 red wines, one with 2 white wines. As the door is open, you see Kevin giving 2 drinks to Elizabeth and Robert.
Oh no. I'm gonna sprint up to them and just kind of shout at them to stop drinking now.
Okay, let me see. What kind of tests can we do for you? What kind of tests could we do? You could give me an intimidation, just screaming down, just putting all your strength into your lungs, screaming at them to stop. You could give me a public speaking, where you just try and get the other waiters to get the word down there to stop him now. They would be your 2 options, I would think.
As I pass the waiters, I'm just gonna as I sprint past them, just tell them, get Kevin, make sure he doesn't leave, and then I'm gonna scream, stop, and try to intimidate the people I don't hate. This is great because it's the Hamptons, isn't it? I think you just Woodards. No,
Yeah,
Woodards.
no, the Woodards.
Yeah.
Well, no. So you're just it's just a way for me to give a role
Yeah.
to you screaming out, stop in just this most intimidating way to get him to be like, what the hell was that? What the? Oh no.
Yeah. I'm gonna try that. Intimidate. I don't have public speaking. Any modifiers?
No, just flat.
I'm gonna use a fate point or a fortune point.
Sure.
Must be great to have those.
Alright.
Tell me about it. Yes.
Oh Jesus! Oh,
So
my gosh.
you're just sprinting down this corridor, just shouting out, "For the love of the ancestors, don't drink those drinks! They've got poison!" You just see,
The whole like ballroom turns to Ragnar. Like,
you just see Kevin about to pass over the drinks, just stop dead, and his hands
Stop
start to
that
shake.
man!
You see everyone, as the door is open, just turn round. A number of drinks get smashed and knocked over to the side. The drinks are left.
I just start shouting, "Stop that man!" and I point to Kevin.
Carla's gonna walk up to Kevin.
And then Ragnar's gonna kind of run up and make sure that I keep forgetting now, the Woodards are safe and haven't taken a sip, and I'm gonna tell them to don't drink it. Someone's forced him to put stuff in your drink.
Riley's gonna get up from her seat due to the commotion, and she has her left hand on her rapier hilt.
I'm standing up and going with Aurelia.
Yeah, same.
Your dwarf has just caused a commotion.
Well,
So
mind explaining what is that about, Kevin?
you mob
As I
the waiter circling him.
I tried to say it's Baldric. It was Baldric. Find him to one of the elves.
Riley will raise an eyebrow
realize-
and look around. She's not gonna mob she's not gonna stay too close to the waiter because there's already people there. She's just gonna be looking around for people that are gonna, make a move on us.
May
Would
take a
I
look
even
too?
know what he looks like?
Oh, we already has.
That's a good
Really
point. I
does,
don't think
no.
I would know how
We would have
Baldric
pointed
looks.
it out when we
The-
saw
Yeah.
those two retainers. We would have
Yeah,
back and forth between me and Aurelia saying, "Okay, oh yeah, I got those guys' names. That's Baldric and that's Jonas."
Yeah.
If that's all right with this, because I don't
Yeah.
think we really specified that.
I figured with the conversation we were having in character at the time that's pretty much the gist of what happened anyway.
Can I roll perception to see if I see the bald man?
Sure.
Baldric.
There will be, because this is doing it in the moment, there's a -30 because there's so many people for you to go through. If you want, you can take 10 and just look round, in which case there'll be a +10.
Right.
The thing is, I don't think we have time to take 10, so I'm gonna try to do the quick one first.
Sure.
Do the negatives from...
No negatives from the atmosphere, from the shit in the air. You're inside, you're in a nice clean place, they've got potpourri out, and, it's...
Whoa!
Ooh,
So,
Jesus.
as you quickly scan the faces going through, right, just anyone with hair or just chuck them out, really quickly scanning and looking, you're 100% sure he's not here.
Aurella's gonna say over her shoulder, "He's not here."
And you can see that there's no seat for him at his lord's table, but the blonde-haired man is sat down.
Of course.
Just get a long string of dwarvish curses.
I'm
What are
going
the-
to briefly turn to the Woodards. I am terribly sorry, but we do appear to be causing scene after scene tonight.
I'm sorry.
What
Yeah.
is all this about? What? Explain yourself. And he looks at the waiter. The waiter hasn't moved.
It's not his fault. He was forced to. Carla or someone with healing, they gave him something. You might want to. I don't
Again,
know.
Can I do a heal test on him to see what it is?
So you'd be doing a healing perception. So do a heal test, but you're not actually healing him. You're just checking, looking at him and trying to check on him.
Assist me with that? Maybe? If I have a higher skill?
You can do that as well, if you want.
I mean,
if you want to go
healing
over
perception,
and
that's
examine
2
him.
skills with no attributes, so that's...
No, it's just healing, but you're only using your eyes. You're not actually trying to heal him. You're just using your healing knowledge with perception. No.
It's feast or famine.
He hasn't moved. Since he stopped, he has just stayed there with the drinks. His hand is shaking, and shaking all the more. Carla, you can't see anything visibly wrong with him. And Livia, you come round to the other side, and you see that from his corner of his mouth, just the starting of a dribble of drool begins to form. Humperdinck gets up from his illustrious seat. Good ladies and gentlemen, calm down for a moment. Ragnar, you must control yourself slightly. The good people of the Golden Hammer wouldn't allow such a thing. Surely not. He takes a pendant from out of his jacket pocket and very carefully does... Well, actually, no, he should have to roll as well. So he does sleight of hand. I'll let you know what the result is. He gets a 23. So he sleight of hands this medallion on a silver chain around his index finger. And as he goes over to the drinks, he drops the medallion into it.
No, of course.
Doesn't do anything. Then he lifts it up and drops it into the other one. And it glows bright.
I told you I may be hot-headed, but I am not stupid.
Lord Robert.
Can I walk over to the now apparently dazed waiter?
Sure.
Alright, and something I'm just gonna wave my hand in front of his eyes and ask him, "Can you hear us?" Because he does seem he's either in shock or he is completely drugged out of his head.
There's no response.
Gave him something to. He had to inhale it.
What do you mean he was threatened?
He was told that all of his loved ones. He was told by Baldric, the bold man that was with the Marquis, to do what he says or he'll sodomize his loved ones, and that's just the start of it.
Lady Elizabeth is just clutching onto Robert's arm, pulling him down as Robert stands up after he sees the glow of the medallion.
The nerve of this Marquis.
May I actually turn to the nobility and try and use a blather to try and calm them down?
Sure. Yeah.
Right, just simply going, it's nothing to worry about. Everything seems to be in order now. Yada yada yada. Blah, 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 blah. Public, lawyer speak.
Yep. So the nobles who
Just smiling wave.
He's
Pretty
a
much.
vampire and a lawyer. The worst possible combination.
I'm already a bloodsucker. All I needed was a briefcase.
True enough.
So
That's
the
how you
nobles
get you,
had
man.
a number of the like there's glass everywhere, where so many nobles just chuck their drink at the word poison, and many of them are talking amongst themselves. But as you come up and just carry on from what Humperdinck said, just it's under control. We know which ones to target. Please just calm down. Maybe some more drinks would help from, favourite waiters start getting called over because they know their favourite butler or waiter wouldn't do anything to their drink. And slowly but surely, more drinks come in and they start calming down. And
If
you'll
it
notice
helps,
that more
I
coins
can
get
influence up to
passed.
600 people. So
Also, out of character, how naive must you be to trust the waiters?
I can only influence up to 50 people.
How much would it cost to get one of the waiters to be trustworthy? I mean,
No, why should they trust them?
oh no,
they call me a regular.
If you're a regular and you have your favourite bar waitress, well, you know she's not going to poison you, so you get her to get your drink. You're like, oh, Beth, please, this is just so alarming. Please, I trust you. Will you get me my drink? And, oh, of course, my lord. I would not do anything to your... And they go off.
Alright.
Yeah. I just go up to what's his first name? Robert, and just kind of say, I'm sorry for quietly whilst everyone's sorting them out. It's like, I'm sorry for the manner of my interruption.
Silence yourself, Master Blackhand. Master Ragnar. There is no need for your...
Blackhand appears out of nowhere.
There's no need. There's no need for you to apologise. He may have just saved my life. He is staring daggers at the Marquis.
Really, who's still scanning the crowd wants to rest her eyes on the Marquis for a little bit. Can I read his face from this distance? Can I see what does he look like? I just want to get a vibe from him.
Okay, he is in... Fortune point. Much better. He is in shock. He is just in absolute... His glass was smashed as well, and all the glasses on his table at the word poison were all thrown aside. And he is just going to minor nobles and to the people on his table, just shocking. Sorry, I can't even remember what his fucking voice is. It's really weird and flourishy. It's just shocking. I can't believe it. Well, how could this happen in the Golden Hammer of all places?
How could this happen to me?
My lord,
that was for Aurelia. That was the Marquis.
Yeah, but
my lord, just still talking to Robert while that happens. I know I'm only a lowly member of a war band, but I promise you on my ancestor gods that
Not that thirsty.
we will make sure he pays. I will make sure he pays. Please just keep yourself safe. Don't do anything to put you in more jeopardy.
Out of character, this is technically what Humperdinck's function. Or he kind of organized it, didn't he?
So these kind of events happen nightly at the Golden Hammer.
Okay.
But Humperdinck has said that, on this day I'm going to debut my warband. It will be a special day. Do something a little bit fancier. So, the food is a little bit nicer. There's a little bit more finery that Humperdinck's kind of paid for, which has brought a few more nobles into the Golden Hammer tonight. Maybe between 25 and 50 nobles is more normal for the Golden Hammer on a weekly night. So there are definitely a few extras here.
Alright. I'm going to turn on my heels and make my way over to Sir Burton.
Sir Bolton. Or Burton, I can't remember. Sure. He is at the Marquis's table.
Yep. I'll give him a quick bow and, sir, I do believe that someone was threatened, or someone's family and loved ones were threatened to make this man attempt an assassination attempt on a I was about to say fellow noble, a noble. Is there any way you could send for any of your men to go to his residence and ensure they're still in care?
I am quite sure that the guard have been informed, and I'm sure someone will be over soon, but by all means, he gives you a withering look, and he looks round at the people at his table, giving them, respectful excuse me's, and he pulls his chair out very noisily. There's a as he pushes his chair back, gets up, another small bow to the table, turns on his heel, and walks over to the waiter. As soon as he gets to the waiter, he pushes him, and the waiter falls over to the floor. His drinks and the tray he was carrying clattering. The drinks smash on the table. The tray clangs off the side, hits the floor, and does that really annoying wah 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 of a metal plate rolling on the floor. And he just starts dribbling out of his mouth. So, who put you up to this? Come on, man, speak. He begins to kick the butler.
I told you
not massively
who it
hard.
was.
Not massively
You do
hard, just
realize
to
he
get response.
cannot speak.
Well, we need evidence. Where is your
I'm
evidence? He kicks the man again.
I'm going to slip into the crowd of the lesser nobles and slowly start a whisper of, is this how he treats people? Is this how he interrogates people? The man was clearly in shock. Surely, and now he's
Obviously, the
beating
man
him.
has been
Look at him, he's
poisoned
beating him in
himself.
front of everyone.
And you just
Sure.
destroyed the. And you just destroyed the evidence, you racist.
Excuse
gossip?
me.
Ragnar.
And he's not kicking him hard. He's not booting him. He's just kicking him for a response. Sure. If you want to roll that, it's with a -40.
Do I get a bonus because of etiquette?
No.
Okay.
Sadly not. You're trying to get nobility to care about a commoner.
Etiquette
You-
is for charm, I believe.
We're
So.
dealing with nobility.
They're nobles. So, no, it's because of you're trying to get them to care about a commoner. Okay. So, as you go through the crowd, trying to, how can you? That's disgraceful. You can tell as your words leave your lips that a large number of this crowd do not give a shit. However, you quickly move through and keep going, and you find a small group of nobles, of lesser nobles, who they have your ear, and you play upon it. Now, there's only maybe 7 to 15 of them within all the lesser nobles, but there's a small group, and you kind of gather them up, and they do begin to agree with you. And no, this is right. Even a commoner should not be. I would not treat my dog like that. Well, it's clear that we won't get any answers from him tonight. I mean, look at him. He pushes him over, and he falls face up, and he's just dribbling out of both sides now.
Well, maybe
You're
if
just
you'd done
doing
your
it.
job of being a guard captain in the first place, this wouldn't have happened.
I'm sorry. What did you just say to me?
Raleigh gonna move towards
You
Ragnar.
heard, you corrupt racist piece of shit.
Raleigh's gonna put a hand on Ragnar's shoulder and just pull him.
So, Humperdinck, do you allow this kind of nonsense to come from your subordinates' mouths when talking to someone such as I? Humperdinck looks him dead in the eyes. No. Ragnar, apologise to him now.
I just say some curse words in Dwarvish and then spit at his feet and then turn around and walk off.
Ragnar,
You see Black Hand having a
Ragnar.
ominous.
Oh.
This
Ron's gonna
won't
squeeze
end
Ragnar's
well for you, and I may not be able to protect you. A number of the nobles are all looking at you like, how dare you speak to someone of higher position than yourself like that?
Rella's gonna squeeze Ragnar's shoulder and she's gonna whisper in his ear, Ragnar, I know this is going to hurt, but swallow your pride and apologize. And then Rella will whisper in even lower voice, we will kill him later.
Ragnar's just going to slip into, is it Elvarin? Is the Elvish language?
Eltharin, yeah.
I just say, you better make it a slow and painful death. I just turn around and with a fake smile on my face go, I'm terribly sorry for my outburst, Lord. It's a high, strong situation. I've had rather a lot to drink. Please forgive me.
Thank you, Ragnar. That was more than enough. You've done well. Now, listen to me, Sir Edward Bolton of the Marquis's toy. You think I don't know about that? Humperdinck is not being as loud as what he was with the Hardings. He is keeping his voice low-ish. Humperdinck, I know that you're in his pocket, you disgusting worm. And I now know what you've done. Do not think that there are not repercussions. What, you thought the Marquis was going to make a show, did you? That he would get rid of one of his competitors in the open, like this? I know. And, by all means, I would not have one of my warband members insult you in such a way. But as I will be putting you in the grave tomorrow, about midday, I don't see why I can't. So, why don't you fuck off, you blithering idiot? Take your pets over there and go fuck the Marquis's toys. I'm done with you. And
Carla is gonna say in classical, eventually you're going to run out of places to hide behind.
I am disgusted at what Nuln has become in my absence. I remember the nobility of Nuln being strong, hardy people, not cowering peasants. There is just a gasp that comes from the lower nobility. I arranged this evening to bring joy and celebration, and yet look at you all. One of us has been by the... You are all so blind. As he says that, he looks directly at the Marquis. I believe I've had enough of this evening. Lord Robert, Lady Elizabeth, would you care to join me in my private suite upstairs? I will assure you that only the best alcohol will be brought from my private ship by my personal servants who are unbribable, I can assure you. And if that is not enough to salve the wound of this incident, I provide you this with a gift, Lord Robert, as you may need it more than me. And he shakes Lord Robert's hand, and I'll give it to him. With a adept sleight of hand, removes the amulet and leaves it in Sir Robert's palm. Sir Robert looks at Humperdinck and grasps the item and... Do you know what, Lord Humperdinck? I actually would be quite pleased to have an evening of your ear. I realise you are quite the collector as well. Perhaps there is more business that can be done between us. But of course, if it's business, I will do... I would be only too glad. I will bring some of my luxury goods up, and you can peruse them. Perhaps you can make a decent sum on it. By all accounts, actually, speaking of money, he looks over at the Hamptons, walking over to them, and my lord, my lady, I know this evening has been much for you. I have noticed your pain. I have some rather fine delicacies that have come all the way from Tilia and even further, my lady. If you would like to peruse them, I know Elizabeth would be most interested to sample some of my more luxurious fabrics. And Lord George, of course, I have heard of the sour business acquisition that went through. I'm disgusted at what happened, and I would only be too happy to lend you my aid. In such a time, we nobles, and he says this much louder, should look after each other. We are not animals. We are the nobility. By all means, do not decide now, but my door is always open to you. And there will always be a welcome drink, of course. The Hamptons, Lady Frances, cheering up slightly at Humperdinck's over generous offer and his flamboyant nature, both also agree. And of course, I could not do business without talking to Nuln's greatest banker. Now, could I, Lord Thomas? As he turns over to the other nobles. And after a few words, and Humperdinck he gets Thomas to piss himself laughing about bringing down the Marquis and fixing his wife's vocal pattern at the same time, which he loves, and she's a bit taken aback by. But Humperdinck then mentions about the finery that would only go too well on her large bosom, and she cheers up at that, and they too join Humperdinck.
Humperdinck is a man of culture, I see.
Once he's done wooing everyone, I would like to properly apologise to Humperdinck alone, and then say I do now need to go. This was more of something I noticed and tried to follow up on.
By all means, essentially, the three noble houses, we'll say, go off with Humperdinck, and a couple of minor nobles tag along as well. And obviously your warband leaves. The Marquis has stopped looking shocked. He's now looking as if someone has just tried to checkmate him. And he's calculating. As you all tag along, the Humperdinck gets to your floor of the Golden Hammer, and he sends the nobility upstairs and informs a waiter to go up there, let them in, and get them glasses ready. I'll be along shortly. And he has a quick word with Ragnar. He thanks you deeply, Ragnar, for Ragnar, you brilliant, well observed, absolutely what I need from my warband. This will go far. Although, next time you feel the need to slight a man in his position, do try to come to me first.
We'll try so in the future. I am deeply, deeply sorry, my lord. It's, as I said, Vidor's hot-headed, and after he did that, I couldn't. That is a grudge I couldn't forgive.
It is understand. It has worked out this time, so it will be fine.
I will remember in the future.
But yes, especially with nobility, they don't like it when those who are not noble insult them. And Edward, asshole, we all
You should
know
be
it.
reminded he is not nobility.
No, but he is a
If we were
kept
in a
pet
dwarven,
of high nobility, if that makes sense.
if we were in a Karak, or if any of them knew the status of who I am by my craft, the roles would very much have been reversed. I may not be as renowned, as well skilled as some of the Rune Lords, but we are treated as more minor nobles, I guess you could say.
The game of human nobility is awkward, difficult, annoying. There's many things, but if you play it well, it can also be very rewarding.
Yes. With that, my lord, I must leave now before my work gets too on top of me. If it please you, though, may I ask that Aurelia joins me? I do not feel it's best for me to be wandering the streets at this hour alone, especially with the Marquis being so blatantly called out as he was.
By all means, it is at this point he sort of steps away and addresses the rest of the group. At this point, you may, if you wish, join me, or you can spend the rest of the evening doing as you wish. Do not provoke the Marquis or his men any further. I need to negotiate and, well, gather allies at the moment. But if one of you could go down to the boat. Oh yes, good point. The boat isn't there anymore. I sold it. There's a new boat there. The one we came up next to, the big fine vessel, and his eyes kind of bulge and glow as he's like starts thinking about his new ship. Same crew, same captain, so by all means, you'll see them on deck doing things.
What happened to my planters?
Oh, all personal belongings were transferred. The crew, no, you had plants on there, so they would have moved it. Yeah, it was sold as a blank slate, as it were.
What do you need from the boat? I will go if you wish.
I just need the crew informed to bring up a selection of my finest goods. Foods, drinks, luxury items, fabrics, the lot. A sample of everything.
Sure, that won't take me too long, so I will go.
If you also wish, you may take the carriage, but that's only if you really need to.
With a slight little smile on my smile, I don't believe it's necessary.
I would point out, if you were to take it, you do have to pay for each legs of the beasts. And with 2 horses, it gets a bit expensive.
That's
Damn.
that's a fine point, and my lord, you are
Use a
a very
donkey.
nice and kind man, but I'm not paying for your horses,
So that's how they get
especially
you
when
the
I'm
leg
just as
tax.
fast as them.
Oh, it's not just the legs of the animals; it's also the
It's the people
driver,
on
the
it.
people on
Yeah.
there. Farmers have it real tough, you know.
Ouch.
Cattle farms specifically.
Yeah, but the amount of profit they probably make.
Yeah, it's all done in the. All the animal slaughter's done in the.
You see,
You go through one gate and to the slaughter's place. They try not to go over one gate, a bridge, another gate.
This is why every farmer needs a catapult to yeet the horse over the gate.
Did you just say whores?
Well, the horse
Horse.
and the whores. You can't have the wife finding out.
I was about to say, like, one of
Oh,
those
shit,
things is
my
not
wife's
like
home
the
from her-
other.
My wife's home from her mother's house. Get in the fucking catapult. Wait, what? Sorry, what?
So,
Assault revolver with a high capacity magazine. The fuck is that?
What?
so you are all left in the fine suite that you have in the Golden Hammer. It is about 5:30 now. You can do whatever you wish. If you do just want to spend your evening in the Golden Hammer, you may do so. And for those of you who want to go and do other things, you can do that as well. You can also come back. You want, or
Wait,
you can go to the Three Crowns.
Wait, is it 5:30 in the evening or in the
Evening.
morning?
Evening.
Oh, I've got plenty. I've got plenty of time. That's awesome.
Do the forge with me.
Then we're not hitting the forge now.
No, no, I'd still want Aurelia to come to the forge with me because I want to have talks with Aurelia.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to the boat.
wait. Humperdinck's chat.
I
What?
think I'm gonna join Casper to go to the
Were
boat.
we supposed to
Just to
talk
check on
to
the path.
Humperdinck about Mordecai?
No,
Or
in
is
the
that
morning.
tomorrow?
Wait,
No.
in
the morning.
I was about to say to either Carla or Olivia go with Casper.
Yeah, I'll join him.
There we go.
Take the car, it's gonna be far too long for you to get there otherwise.
I'm not gonna take the card. I can run.
Yeah, but the cat can probably go faster than you, can't it?
I can run 18.
yeah, and that's not going to be suspicious at all.
It's not that you can run 18. It's simply that a horse has horsepower, you don't.
I am the horse now.
It's great.
Regardless.
1 hour, kinda?
Yeah. Main thing is there, 1 gate bridge. So that's what? 4 pennies? Yeah, 4 pennies.
8 pennies, because you'll go back that way.
Yeah, true.
Wait, where is the golden?
A3.
Actually, yeah.
Okay. So
That's actually a good question. What should we do after we inform the crew?
Well, if you want, you can still do your drunken halfling on a pig.
I could
So
do, but
that's still an option.
I'd be down with that.
But technically, the horses are faster. Technically, they are. Only just.
Only just.
Well, what, you've got 6 movement?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got 8. You're as fast as a pony.
They're a lot faster, and they don't get tired as fast.
True.
Yeah, true.
Less suspicious as well.
I'm just in a rush.
That's
I
fine.
think-
Leave me behind.
True. You can always jump my back. I can always carry your weight, so I can carry at least. I think I can carry Ragdarn's full armor.
Are we having a Twilight moment now?
Please don't.
Get
Please
out.
don't. I don't. I think if Casper starts sparkling in the sunlight, I think he's just actually burning to the cinders.
Before anything, I would actually like to ask a steward or someone who, well, if they don't know, I would point me in someone who might know where Kevin lived.
So you ask one of the stewards. They don't really want to tell you where, like the staff's living, where they live is kind of private. If you're not, don't get me wrong, if a policeman demanded it, then
I'm gonna try and charm it. Just like with everything that happened today, I just want to go there and make sure it's okay and inform his family of the It's a terrible act.
Sure, you could do that.
Charm? Any
Yep.
any negatives?
No negatives, but no positives.
Okay. I didn't just add any. Okay, that's good.
Oh,
With a natural two.
oh, okay.
Well then,
So, he
gotta be a
basically
bar wench so I can get her location too.
he basically tells you exactly where Kevin lived, and tells you that Kevin had a wife, Carla, and he had he had 6 children, and he was the son of a large family as well, and a number of his family members still live in Nuln and have families of their own.
Whispering to myself, like, Jesus Christ. They're all gonna get sodomized.
Who's this Jesus Christ you're talking about?
Gonna be a really busy evening.
Yeah. Okay.
I think
I'm,
Jesus
I think I'm
Christ
very
is
much.
fucking Dracula.
Did I give you guys a character sheet for the boat, or are you using the
Yes.
cart? Oh yes,
Yes.
I did. Okay.
We also have access to the to the card, so
I mean, I don't, but that's because it happened before I was here.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, just because it will actually go faster and it'll take less time, I am going to take the carriage and request Olivia come with me.
Yeah, sure.
No piggyback tonight. Maybe another time.
All right. I'll add the 8 pennies back in.
Oh god, how much is it? So from there to the. Okay, so from fucking. Right.
So it's 1/3 of the time by carriage.
So wait, so down there, that's one gate. Bridge. To there. Okay, so that's what, 20 minutes? But then where does he live? It was more like. Right here-ish?
Oh, Kevin, he lives in the docks. Why not?
Jesus, okay. That's quite the commute. Oh, Jesus, okay. That is quite the commute, Jesus. 45-minute walk to work, and he also has to pay like fucking 4 pennies. Okay, so how much is it for the horse? So there's 2 horses and a driver?
Yes.
So it's 2 penny a leg? Or a penny a leg?
I think it's 14 for everyone,
Okay.
the animals and
Yeah,
everything.
that's
So it's 28 for there and back.
Well, 14 first to get to the boat, and then just to wherever the hell he lived. So it was down here. So
Yeah, it's basically in the
Just
same
14.
same location, just for ease of use.
okay. Yeah, the carriage driver can pay for the way back. I'm paying for the route there. He can pay back.
I could see Casper being like handed over to Buddy, turning to Olivia. You'll pay for the way back. Getting in the carriage.
No, I meant the carriage driver because I'm getting out to go talk to this guy's family. Alright,
Sure.
check up on them.
toss him a gold girl. Let's see. Wait for me.
So, Casper, you're able to find Kevin's house. You can see that it seems to be quite busy in there. Lots of noise. There's kids running around in the street in the area that he lives. A couple of street prostitutes as well, because why not?
Okay. Okay. I'll jump out of the cart and take a position where I can just watch over the house for a while. Hopefully, secretly.
You did let the cart stop moving first, yeah?
Nah, he doing
I'm
Nah.
going for style points.
Okay.
Falls down,
So,
breaks his neck.
if
Roll the
you can
character.
give me a... No, I've actually found if you jump from a moving vehicle. Oh, okay. Same as jump and falling rules. Okay, causes one wound for failing. Is that it? Okay. Oh, hang on. In addition, any successful magic attack. Oh no, that's just for attacking.
Roll
Never mind.
acrobatics for a perfect dismount.
So no, you're able to, as the doors, it's slowly moving. You just walk and able to get out. Being quite stylish. And sure, you can just
Terrible. Face plant.
you get out quite well, and you start walking. You're like, yeah, I've done this, and then you just catch your foot on a divot, and you just kind of start staggering and hopping and trying to catch yourself, and but you don't fall over, but you lose some cool points.
I lose some what?
Cool points.
Cool points.
Okay.
Jinx.
I'm going to break that rule, so I can speak. You are... you can sit there and you can watch and just see what happens for a while. Livia, as you get to where the old boat was, you can see all the crew on the boat right next to it. So, the boat goes bye-bye, as it is gone. Sold to some peasant.
No.
Boaty.
You are met by
That was Magnus's boat.
No. His little
face.
robe. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Little dinghy?
Like, the thing is... No, I can't say it. So, I'll say it later. So, you come up to this massive river barge boat. It is ginormous. It is far larger than the last boat that Humperdinck had. It is... he would probably go make it larger than your typical. So it's about 30 yards long. I don't know why they're doing it in yards, but 30 meters long, yards long, however.
What armament does it have?
Oh, it doesn't have any weapons. It's a trade boat. You're their weapons.
Ballista?
A small cannon?
No, there's no cannons on it.
I mean, you're small, but you're not a cannon, man.
I mean,
It has elves and dwarves to throw overboard.
I mean, by all means, if you want to talk Humperdinck into doing some stuff to this boat and improving it for its defensive capabilities, he's a trader. He was like, okay, I can get a lot of cargo in this. I can make a lot of money. Brilliant. It has an absolutely fabulous figurehead on the front of it, which is a woman with a hunting rifle aimed, all in gilt and green, and but you'd see, like I said, the same crew as before. How are we all doing on time?
I'm good.
I can do some more.
Okay. So as you approach Livia, you'd see that some of the crewmen, because they're kind of bored, they see you in the distance and they kind of wave you over, kind of shouting out, "Hey, it's our new boat! We've got quarters!"
Is it a submarine?
God damn
Huh?
it.
I understood U-boat.
Yes.
Joins the Navy.
He's
Love
got a
it.
new boat, not a U-boat. And you're
Oh.
called over, Livia. Was there anything you wanted to do, Livia, or did you just want to let the
I just
people
want to have a
know?
look at the boat and, check on the planters. The 2 clay pots with ingredients.
Yep. As you go up there, it appears as if someone has been every now and then just trickling some water onto them in your absence.
Can I ask the crew
Who did it? It would be. I believe she had a name.
Is it my favorite crew member?
It was the woman that you were talking to. You were talking about Noelle, I believe it was.
Okay, yeah. I'll keep that in mind. I'll buy something for her.
Yeah, I believe it was Noelle who was talking to you about hair products and things like that. No, not hair products, but what elves use to get such glistening hair and such lovely skin.
The blood of their enemies.
Oh. What if your enemies are rats?
The Yarn Slayers. Ragnar.
I mean, Ragnar isn't here right now. He's off with having a interesting conversation with Aurelia, I'm sure.
Hey.
So,
yeah,
Doesn't talk much, but she's a good companion.
Was there anything else you wanted to do on the boat?
Just check for the plans, have a look at the boat, and inform them that Humperdinck wants stuff brought over.
Okay, the captain is on deck. He looks just as bored as everyone else, and hearing that Humperdinck wants something, he's like, "Oh, right," and you just see everyone kind of getting busy and going down into the hold. And after a while, once you've like checked on your plantage, you see that stuff is starting to get loaded into a cart, and started to get taken up to the Golden Hammer. So as the camera zooms away from Humperdinck's new vessel, it zooms back in to Ragnar and Aurelia walking down the road.
I'm sorry for what happened in there, by the way. I put us all in danger.
Don't be sorry, Ragnar. It is understandable what happened. Still, a little more subtlety every now and then can work better than just blunt force.
Have you ever known a dwarf to be subtle in your long life?
Oh no, not at all. But still.
I'm also sorry for speaking in your language. It was...
Oh, it was horrifying hearing you saying weird words that sounded like my language, but I was more surprised than insulted. It's fine, Ragnar.
I was trying to learn it because I respect you and Olivia, and I was trying to learn it as a surprise you with it as a sign of that respect, I guess. You're not as bad as what I had been brought up to believe elves were.
Rel will just smirk. Well, just a little bit, Ragnar. I do kill children after all. She's gonna giggle to herself.
Ragnar's
A
gonna
dwarf overcoming prejudice. No.
Ragnar's gonna look at you and go,
He's starting more and more to go down to Slayer path.
This is a half dwarf.
A cursed dwarf. You killed children.
Don't worry about it, Ragnar. It was a while ago before you met us.
I'm assuming you had good reason. You rarely don't.
Oh yeah, they were corrupted.
Yeah.
It was mercy. I joke and jest, but it
Well,
was a
then they
mercy
were...
killing. I didn't feel good about it, but I did it.
Well, did what needed to be done. Do thank you, and also, if you overhear anything over the next few hours while I work on my armor, just please try to forget it and speak to no one about it.
Don't worry, Ragnar. These lips of mine are sealed.
I mean to everyone. You shouldn't be able to. I know you're smart. You shouldn't be able to understand it anyway, but I just don't want to be alone in case the Marquis tries something tonight. You're welcome to leave at any time, though, and make sure you get good night's rest so you can kill that bastard in the morning.
We'll smile.
I'm trusting you here, Elf.
Don't worry, I will try to shoot him straight in the eyeball.
Good.
Hopefully.
I've seen you do better shots with less, so I'm sure you can.
We'll smile.
Right, I was going to walk past probably all of the dwarves in the Dwarvish Quarter, looking very weird that a dwarf is walking with an elf and pay the fee to rent the same forge that he has been, and then work on his stuff in relative silence, except from the occasional chant that he has to do and everything for the next 4 or 5 hours before if Aurelia stays for that long, before suggesting going back to meet the others, and if she's not there, going back to meet the others.
Aurelia will lean on a wall and she will close down her eyes, but she will be awake the entire time and she'll be waiting.
Yeah. So when the time's up, I was just look over to her and call over and say, "That's about me done for tonight. We should probably find the others and get some food. I didn't eat that damned dinner."
You should have. Although nowhere near as tasty as a fine elven cuisine, it was still acceptable, I guess. Sure smell. Shall we?
You'll have to let me have some of that fine elven cuisine sometime. After you.
I guess we go
Do I hear
Back.
flirting?
to the 3 crowns.
Guess, yeah, 3 crowns, or I guess because it'll be about 10 p.m. by that point, so people are probably back.
You can go back to the Golden Hammer and stay there for the night. You have accommodation.
Oh.
Yeah, you have accommodation. So
Okay.
you have Humperdinck has an entire floor to himself. He has a little apartment with multiple fine rooms and bedrooms and dining rooms. You guys have a basic apartment. So there's a room each for you in there, and there's a little, same as at Gail's place, where there's a little dining room where you could sit around and eat, and a place where you can just sit and by the fire and smoke and drink.
Hey, if we actually have rooms in the Golden Hammer, fuck that, we're going there.
Yeah, I didn't realize we had rooms, so yeah, we're going there. The posh place. Just amend my amount of brass pennies slightly.
Oh yeah, there are a lot of gates, right? There are 2 gates over here, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2 bridges and a gate.
So 2, 6, 12.
Yeah, that's what I've marked off anyway. Plus the amount that it costs for the forge.
Yep, there and back again.
A hobbit's tale. Wait, dwarven's tale.
I mean, they're pretty much the same size.
So,
Dwarf, hobbit, what's the difference?
Casper,
Oh.
as you, as you sit and watch the house of the late Kevin. Oh, you don't know that yet. Of Kevin.
Oh, what?
Spoiler.
I mean, did you really expect him to live?
No.
No.
He did spoil that earlier. He said hard and spoke of him, you know,
Yeah.
in past tense.
He did. He constantly talked about him in past sense.
You don't see anyone come to the house. How long did you want to stay there for?
Well, what time was it when we got off?
So it was about 6:15.
6:15. Okay. Huh. I will stay there about 2 hours.
Okay, sure. So you stay there for about 2 hours. An hour and a half in, you don't see anyone going to the property, but a number of children do come over to you and, Mister, why are you dressed so funny?
Is Livia there yet?
Look, Sal, look how he's dressed. Isn't it funny? Why are you dressed like that, mister? Are you a clown?
Just a big smile on my face. Just, I was once actually. Out for a walk.
His little sister or little female friend pulls on his sleeves and like, his face isn't white and painted up. He can't be a clown. Maybe he's a noble.
Oh.
There's a bit of commotion going on with the kids, kind of. There's a few more of them, and they start jeering, going, "He's not a noble. He's not handsome enough. Well, maybe he is." There's some whinging and whining going on before a woman can be seen in the doorway of the house that you were looking at. Quite a plain-looking woman. She has scarring on her face from Warhammer Fantasy's equivalent of the pox. Yeah, not the Skaven variety, just the normal cowpox or fucking normal pox that they got. But she's got scars on her face from not having proper medical treatment. She's nice enough. She comes out and children, back away. Leave him alone. She looks at you in a very peculiar. Come on inside, children. She gathers up her kids and kind of moves them away from you.
Sorry, I did not mean to make a scene, I suppose.
I'm sorry, sir. I meant no offence by it, but you're in kind of fine garb for this location, and if you'll forgive me for saying, sir, it's uncommon to see finery such as that in and she gestures around her. Have a good evening.
I'll just give her a nod. Oh. Stay safe, and turn on my heels and walk off.
You hear the door shut, kind of at the stay safe, just like
Yeah, I totally forgot I was in fucking finery. Yeah, just as I shake my head, I'll walk myself back to the Golden Hammer, actually, because I left my stuff there. I left my fucking stuff there. Yeah, I'm going back to the Golden Hammer.
Once Livia is done on the boat, she'd meet back up with Casper. Don't know. They meet along the way.
Irelia would have grabbed all of her weapons when she left the Golden Hammer, and when she got back, she would do the same,
Yeah, that
noble thing of
Ragnar would have
precious,
as
we're
well.
dead. It's just proper etiquette for the place. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
You'd note that when you go into your room, for any of you who leave your weapons there or go up to your room, they do bring your weapons up. And as you all sit down, they place your weapons in your room and then leave you. They don't hold on to them whilst you're in your private rooms. You can have them there. So,
yeah, Ragnar definitely still would have wanted to carry his to the Dwarven Quarter either way.
I believe you've gone round to everyone who wanted to do something. It's at that point, as the night grows on, Casper and Livia have already arrived back at the Golden Hammer, as Ragnar and Blackhand and Livia make their way back into the Golden Hammer at about 9:30, 10 o'clock. Our camera will zoom out, and in the next episode they can have a little discussion if they want, before having a nice rest, gaining back a vital fortune point, before trying to talk Humperdinck into letting their champion do the duel in the morning against
Stop
Sir
teasing me.
Edward. But you will have to tune in next time if you want to find out that conclusion. Or you can always visit my YouTube channel, where I upload daily videos and all of these streams, so you can check out any missed content there. Thank you all very much for watching this episode. I truly hope you enjoyed. Take care, everyone, and as always, bye-bye for now.
Bye.
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 See ya.